Hello everyone and welcome to News channel. Today we're gonna go over the actual basic of how to speedrun Diddy Racing and what do you need to know, like all the tips and tricks and everything you need to know about the characters and the vehicles and what the game is about. And to begin with, well, you have the game in front of you. You realize, well, I might give it a try to speedrun Diddy Racing. How do I do it? Where do I start? And how do I get further? So, to get started, you want to go over the characters. All the characters has different types of acceleration, handling, and top speed. And some of these can be very hard to handle as a newcomer to the game, and therefore I would suggest you just don't play them at the start. You want to go for easier ones. But for example, I would suggest you go with Banjo in the start, because Banjo has the highest top speed out of the not unlockables. I'm gonna talk about the unlockables later on, but other than that, if you feel like Banjo is too hard to handle, I would suggest you go with either Conquer or you go with Diddy. And also, if you feel like the plane stages are hard later on, I'm gonna go into that as well. Like, there are 3 different vehicles. There are plane, hovercraft, and there is a car. And Diddy is the best character when it comes to playing. Basic line, like there is no better character except for, like, TT is still the best overall. But we don't need to talk about him in the start. Okay, so basic explanation of the game. I'm just gonna choose like Banjo, for example. So, what do you want to do? You're gonna start up the file. And to begin with, I forgot to actually explain that. To begin with, there are different types of modes in this game. I have it on Japanese now, I'm gonna explain that later on. The top one is adventure mode. And adventure mode is basically you are going to visit different worlds, race different races, and then you're gonna race against a boss, and then you're gonna race the races again, but with a bonus objective. And after that, you can do both a mini game for the world, and you can go and do a trophy race. And trophy race is literally like a cup from Mario Kart. And in order to unlock the 5th level, you need to do a lot of objectives. But that is like, I don't want to go too much into it yet. I just want to basically explain it, and then I'm gonna show you when I get into game. And the second one here, in the middle one, is Adventure 2. So it's basically like the first adventure, but it's mirrored. So every stage is the other way around. And I hate it. I really do hate it. It's not easy at all. And then the last one here, it's time trials. It's basically like you choose a level, you can play the level either like a normal race or like in Mario Kart. When you go, like, you wanna get your ghost times and stuff, you wanna speedrun the level or whatever, then you just enter one of these and you click on the clock. And you get a time, like a timed race instead of a balloon race. And also you have the trophy races here, the gold ones, which are basically you complete 4 levels in a row, and you get points for each placement you get in every one. And to be honest, with that explained, I'm actually gonna go into a new game here, just to explain. Just whatever, but So, in the start, this is the adventure mode, and the adventure mode, as I said, it holds different areas and different worlds that you visit, and you, like, the currency to unlock stuff in this game is basically, first of all, the balloons. You have golden balloons, which unlocks, like, you have this requirement doors, and each doors require amount of balloons. If you ever played Banjo-Kazooie or like similar games, you know that you need notes or whatever to unlock a door. And it's basically the same in this game. So what you want to do is you want to collect the balloons from each world to progress. And you also, after each boss, there are 2 versions of the boss. The first version of the boss just unlocks the second part of the world, like the bonus objectives. But the second time you beat the boss, you actually get a piece of an amulet, or piece of, I think it's a piece of an amulet. I don't remember now, to be honest. But they're needed to. You see the big head in front of us now, right now. For each boss, like there are 4 bosses in the original part of the game, like the first part of the game. So each part of that phase is represented in each boss won against. And I don't need to do this yet. I just remembered. Okay. You also have like mini games which unlock a door later in the game, and you also have like trophy races. You need to collect 4 trophies and then you unlock the 5th world, for example. But enough of that. Like when you want to get started in this game, you want to learn how basically each vehicle works. So if you see the speedometer to the right, on the right side, it shows you what kind of speed you have. So if you go straight, you go by 60 if you hold the A button. So one trick I want to show you is literally, if you, instead of just holding A, you tap the A button quite fast. And you see this, if you tap faster, you go above. And you can stay above the 60 level 1, and overall it's faster. So that is actually a good thing to know when you're doing the races and stuff. Because like, if you just go slightly faster overall, it's gonna be easier to beat the races and it's gonna be easier to progress through the game. And why I'm talking about all this, even though it's a speedrunning get started, it's like you need to know the basics. Like, in order to start the game and actually progress through it, you want to know the basics. So the same goes for like what I'm doing right now, the sliding and such. Like, if you tap the A button, you can also hold the R button. If you hold to the left, you slide like this. If you hold to the right, you slide the other way. And also, if you slide and you tap the B button, you can narrow down the corner. So, for example, as a new player, you don't really know about the skidding slash drifting. You normally just hold the button, like the steering button. And then it's like, you're gonna feel very fast that it's like, it's kind of wobbly. It's kind of, it feels like you're half on ice. And therefore I suggest, like, sometimes now and then when you feel like, okay, this type of corner or whatever, this type of way, I want to like get it a bit smoother, a bit easier. Then you just slide, because when you slide like this, you can just manage, like, you can hold, like, you can tap to the right if you slide into the left and the other way around. And the only thing I want you to like know is that if you hold the opposite direction, you're gonna spin around. So in order to like control it, you just tap. So remember, in this part, as you saw also, like, you can actually get higher speeds when you slide and tap the A button. For example, as you see now I'm closing in on 90, and that's because I'm tapping that at the moment. You can actually reach up to 90. But then you see, if I hold the A button, I'm almost down to 60. So basically, you're gaining like 20 kilometers per hour, whatever. It's like, and that overall is a huge fucking deal. Okay, so that is the basic for the car. Basic for the hovercraft, I'm gonna show you. Like, in the adventure mode, you talk to Taj, which is this guy. He's the genie of the island. He basically provides you with magic to change vehicles between the 3 of them, and you can use them in different ways in the overworld and such. And you also have challenges which he will oppose to you. So, in the hovercraft, you never really want to tap, because that is too advanced to start with. So what you want to do, if you go just forward like this, you see like forward is like 60. So there is a thing where you turn like back and forth like this. Now it's hard to show just because of that. I'm gonna go around. So if you just go straight, it's not gonna go that fast. But if you start to do this like wiggly snaky thing, you overall, okay, if you do not run into things. But if you do this kind of, like, there is a rhythm to it, and you kind of need to learn it yourself. The basics are, though, if you wiggle back and forth, there's the explanation for this. It's going faster due to when you're turning, the speed for some reason accelerate the first like um, turning animation, and which means when you actually wiggle back and forth, you're kind of maintaining that acceleration in the turning animation. So in Hovercraft levels, everyone is doing this. Everyone is wiggling back and forth like this. Not particularly like this, like the top players, they're 10 times better than me. I'm just like basically explaining it. But with that said, on Hovercraft levels, you want to wiggle back and forth. That is mainly to increase a little bit of speed. Like, it might seem kind of stupid, kind of like, why do I need to do this? But I promise you, when you play the game enough, you will notice a huge difference in speed overall. It might not be fast per second or fast per moment or whatever, but it's like, if you add everything up, you're gonna have an easier time to complete the game, you're gonna have an easier time to unlock the character you need to unlock in order to actually speedrun. So why I'm teaching you this is just because like I feel like there are not enough basic movement guides, if you know what I mean. And I know this is gonna be a bit wonky, a bit like clunky because I'm forgetting words, I'm not sticking to the script and such. But for example, here's another thing, in plane. I'm sorry for jumping over here and there, but in plane, you see I'm going 60 right now, okay? And that is basically holding A button. So, if I start to do barrel rolls, look at that speed. But important thing to notice, the barrel roll is performed by tapping the R button and one direction. For example, if I want to do it, I double tap to the left, double tap to the right. Like I hold left or hold right and then I double tap R. Double tap, double tap, double tap. Or if you want to fail at it, you can just neutral double tap and you can hold it like this and you can do a loop-de-loop, which is kind of funny thing to do. It's a funny mechanic, but this will be the bane of losing time. I'm not even kidding. Like when you're getting started with the barrels and such, be really aware of, like, first of all, the more even basic one of this is like when you just go normally like this and you don't do barrel rolls a lot, because it's actually a thing to get used to and it's not that easy that you can think, and it's also like really punishing because if you barrel roll, you're stuck in that animation until you get out of the barrel roll. So if you don't want to barrel roll too much in the start, be sure to hold the R button at all times. Like just hold it in. As you see, if I let it go, it's just this like gray line. But the thing is, the steering now is really small. Like you have nearly to no steering room at all. So if you hold the R, it's like this. Then you can literally turn really sharp. So basically, just to go over everything again, car, you want to tap the A button, and you want to also like use the drifting, like hold R and press. Like that is the thing though, the way you want to go in car, if you drift, you want to go at the same time. Like if you want to go left, like you want to slide into the left like that, you want to hold left. It's not like, it's kind of hard to explain because in Mario Kart it's the other way around, I think. But nonetheless, so in car, you want to push the A button, like you tap it all the time, tap. I can show you, like you literally tap like this, all the time, tap like this, because then you maintain the speed. You're gonna be above, because it's like it goes up to the maximum, but then it goes down a bit. And what you do when you're tapping the A button is you're staying up on the maximum, because it's like driving some vehicle in real life that is like choked to a point, like is stopped to a certain speed limit. So it's like you go up to the maximum, then like it's like completely stops. The same thing in the game. It's like you need to tap the A button to stay above that range a little bit, and it's gonna help you a lot. In Hovercraft, you wanna wiggle back and forth like a snake, and in plane, you wanna barrel roll as much as possible. And if you're not able to barrel roll, you wanna just hold the R button to easier steer around, and just hold A button all the time. And when you get started in the game, you want to collect these overworld balloons, as I'm showing you right now. I don't know what I'm doing right now. This is awkward. Yeah, you want to start by collecting these balloons, and after you collected the balloons, there's one more. You're gonna start out the first level of the game. And another thing you need to notice, and that's why I'm going to the first world. I'm gonna show you in the world. The first thing you're gonna notice is like you have these doors. They're labeled with 1, 2, 3, and 5. So basically, it's the currency. The balloons I was talking about earlier. It's the currency of the game. So you need to collect the balloons in order to open up the doors. And why I'm also explaining everything about the actual adventure mode is just because you actually need to complete it to unlock TT later on. So you need to go and do this. Doesn't matter what you think, but it's also a good thing to do because I think the adventure mode is a really good way to start the game. Like, you're gonna get hit hard by the first boss. That is a guarantee. But it's still nonetheless is a good way to like practice. And you can also practice the stages again by going into them even though you completed them. And let's see, yeah. I'm gonna go into the first level now. I'm gonna show you, like, because the first level, it shows you very different things. Like, you have a lot of things you can explain in this level. For example, I'm gonna pause right here. You see in the start, there are bananas. Bananas are also a core mechanic to the game. Bananas are simply, like, to explain it simply, you collect the bananas, you gain more acceleration and top speed. That is basically it. But it caps out at 10 bananas. So what you want to do, especially when you're new to the game, you're going to try to aim to getting the bananas. That is a really good way to easier just completing like the levels in the start. Oh, and also, here in the start now, it's going to say get ready, and then it's going to say go. In order to get a leap ahead of the others, you can practice this one as a new player as well. When they say get ready, count 1 second in your head, like one, like out loud, and then you press the A button. And normally around that timing, maybe a little bit later, you're gonna get a boost, which flies you away instead of just going slowly away in the start of the race. And this is a good thing to do. Like there I got a yellow one, which is the half one. You wanna aim for the blue one. So here's also a thing. This key here is for the minigames. And the minigames I can show you later on. It's different types of tasks that you need to do in order to unlock an amulet, which unlocks a door late game. But that is not important right now. What is important right now is that, as I told you before, tap A button. And this is also a thing that you need to learn. Like, the balloons are different kinds of weapons or upgrades or whatever. It is usable, which is when you collect one of these, you can use them for either going faster, either dropping a pool of goo, or fire a missile. But the thing of this game is you have upgradable upgrades. Like, as you see now, the icon down on the left just changed. So basically what that means is you just powered it up, and it will amplify or change the effect of the item. And in this case, the blue balloon is a boost, the red balloon is a missile, the green balloon is a pool of oil, but on the second upgrade is a mine, whatever. And you have a like a yellow purple-ish balloon, which gives you a magnet. But the most used balloons in this game are actually the blue ones, so that's why I'm going to talk about it, because it's such an important thing in the game. I'm gonna restart the race. Just due to the mechanics around the speed and everything. Like, I've been talking a lot about the base mechanics of the vehicles and everything right now, and now I'm gonna show you the other part of going fast. So, if you use a balloon, which is blue, which is the boost, you're gonna get a light, like a yellow burning flame behind you, and which is pushing you forward. It's like you go above your top speed for a moment. But if you let go of the A button, you're gonna get the green flame instead, and it's gonna be a higher speed. So basically what you wanna do, normally you wanna tap the A button, and when you get a blue balloon, let go of the A button briefly, and then you press the fire button, even if you're playing on VC from the start. Like a virtual console does work from the start, but you're not illegal to actually put up any times on the leaderboards because we banned it. Because they're too big of a difference. Because the virtual console doesn't have the lag that the original games has. But enough about that. This is more about the basics. So, as I said in the start, okay, bad boost again, fun enough. You want to collect the bananas, and here you see the green boost. It goes really, really fast, and you can chain them together in order to gain more speed. So basically, in this game, it's better to use a non-upgraded boost than to use an upgraded boost. And that is just mainly due to you kind of get the extended version of the boost when you upgrade it. Which means it doesn't really matter, because if you chain them together, you get a higher overall speed, because like, as you saw on the speedometer, it's like, it's going up a little bit, and then the next boost it goes even more, and then the next boost it goes even more. So it's like, it's not a clear speed cap in this game. So what you want to do is like, you want to use also the zippers on the ground. These are boosts, and they come in different forms, and in hovercraft levels and plane levels, they're often like a round circle or such. In the hovercraft levels, they are on the water, like the surface, and on the plane stage, in the plane stages, you have both these ones on the ground and you have the ones in the air. And the ones on the ground are really hard to hit. I can show you how to do that as well, but it's like, that is above the basic level. So, what do I need to know after this? I know now how to drive a car, drive a hovercraft, drive a plane, like the basic ones. So what do I need to do after that? And how do I get into the speedrunning? And what do I need to actually prepare before I start speedrunning the game? So basically what you need to do, what I'm doing right now, you need to do. Like, you need to go through, I'm gonna just complete this stage fast. And as you see, chaining together boost makes you go faster. And always remember, let go of the A button. That is a cutscene skip, I'm gonna explain that later on. But there, you see, I got the key. This unlocks the minigame. And the minigame in this world is basically, you are gonna fly a plane, you're gonna collect an egg, and you're gonna bring them to your base, kind of. I'm gonna show you that one. But to be talking about the speedrunning though, if you want to get into speedrunning, you need to kind of get a hang of the basic mechanics that I just shown you and that I explained, because they're gonna be so damn important when you start to improve on the other stuff. So I don't want to stress it too much, but you really need to focus on the basic mechanics before you go further. So you want to actually go in. I would even suggest to go into time trials. As I showed you before, you have 3 different modes. You have adventure mode, you have adventure 2, which is a mirrored one of the first adventure mode, and then you have time trials. So what you want to do in the start is just do some stages with time trial. Just try the mechanics out, or just go in the overworld, as I showed you before. Like, drive around in the overworld, just get a hang of the core mechanics, just a little bit. You don't need too much in the start though, because it will eventually come with time. But you still need to kind of get the hang of A-tapping, get a hang of how the car works, like how does it feel when I'm turning it? Is this character gonna work for me, or do I change the character to Conquer or Diddy? Or like, when do I drift, when do I not drift? Remember to release the A button when I'm boosting, and remember to try to chain together. If you see a zipper on the ground, which is the boost pad on the ground, and you know that there is a blue balloon either before it or after it, how do I chain it together? Like, Do I want to use the blue balloon before, or do I want to use it after? That is completely up to you. You will see the more advanced like versions later on, but I at least try to in the start like elaborate with your own skill, like understand what your skill is and understand that you need to get the hang of the core mechanics, and then it's just down to play. Like I have a lot of more things to go through, but it's like this is like the end section of the base. So we're gonna move forward now. As I said before, a virtual console, you can play it as much as you want, but you're not eligible to go into the leaderboards. And that is mainly due to the virtual console doesn't have any lag. So you're basically saving time everywhere just due to no lag. And also you want to have, if you're going to start a speedrun and want to end up on the leaderboard, you can go with any version you want, but then you cannot do the out of bounds later on. So if you really want to be serious about this later on, you want either a Japanese version or you want the American one. I think it's the 1.0. I don't remember, but I think so. And also, like, when you're getting started with this, as I also typed out, it's like practicing mindset, how to improve variety, consistency, challenge yourself, risking more risky strats, cutting corners, learning to improve vehicle control, start doing out of bounds, etc. So it's literally like in the start, you don't want to bother with the out of bounds. Like, there are a lot of tricks to this game, and I encourage you to try them out, but maybe not focus entirely on it from the start. Like, it's always fun to try it out. And I'm gonna show you the out of bounds I know. Like, I really don't understand two of the out of bounds, but I'm gonna show you the most regularly used ones, and I'm gonna show you the tricks that I needed. I don't even know why I restarted the game, because I had a save file where I just could go into, wait, I'm gonna see if I have a save file for example, to show the trick on the first boss. I'm gonna just see. And I'm gonna go for the same character again, since TT is unlockable later on. Okay, yeah, I have a save file, fine. That is nice. And just to show you that there are a lot more depth into this game than what I'm explaining right now. I'm just gonna show you, for example, a trick. You can test it out for fun, but I wouldn't implement it until you actually learn the basics. And this is one of the tricks that I found most amazing, for me at least. Like, I love all the out of bounds and everything, but this is the trick I love the most. So, I probably didn't talk too much about it before, but this game has bosses. Like, you race a boss, and for example, this stage is literally a spiral, like a mountain. And if you want to go up the normal way, you want to focus on, for example, get the boost in the start. As I showed you earlier, like, okay, I failed, I know, but it's like, it's all about timing. When you learn to get the boost down and everything, it's gonna be easy. You're gonna get it consistently, at least 50% of the time. So you want to get the boost in the start, and this is the second version, so it's a harder version, because the first time you beat it, it's gonna be easy. The second time it's gonna be harder. So what you want to do is you want to get the boost, and then you want to stick to the left side, as close to the wall as possible in the start, because that is gonna get you the lead where you don't really need to focus. Like, you just need to safely drive up and do not fall down, because then you end up in the lobby, you lose. But this is the trick though. Okay, of course I failed the boost. But, oh my god, that is way weird. The trick, basically, you go into this corner. Why can't I do it right now? What is going on? Yeah, I failed it again. Basically wanna run up in this corner, and there is a trigger there that is literally treated at, okay, whatever, I can't do this right now. Like, you need to hit a trigger in the corner, and that triggers like the frame after the finish line, and which ends up you just winning the race within 5 seconds after you hit the trigger or something. But that is not important now. I just wanted to like prove a point. Like, you can try these tricks, you can practice these tricks if you want to, but I would suggest like you mix up the practicing. Like, You do some time trials, you complete the game in adventure mode, and you like do different kinds of stuff. Like do what's fun for you, because that is the most important thing. If you're not having fun, you're not gonna improve. So try to have as fun as you can, even though it's frustrating. Try to have as fun as you can, and focus on the core mechanics first, like the baseline of mechanics. And after that, you just wanna improve on the stuff that is more advanced. For example, when you actually mastered, or not master, when you get a hang of the core mechanics and stuff, then you start doing more barrel rolls. You implement more barrel rolls, you try to do the plane stages with less using A, because you don't want to use A if you barrel roll, because that increases your speed overall. And after that, for example, for car, you want to go for more riskier strats when it comes to chain boosting and stuff like that. You want to start cutting corners closer, you want to get closer into the corner, you want to like optimize your way of moving and such things. But first of all, I just advise you go with A-tapping in car, snaking in Hovercraft, and just basic plane driving in the start. You can try to do barrel rolls, but I really can't stress you enough that if you do a barrel roll, you're stuck in that animation, and if you accidentally like hit the R button one time too much, you're gonna do another one. And if you crash into the wall, you're gonna end up on the ground, and it's gonna be like you lose more time than if you drive it normally, like if I tell you like that. So basically, base, improve, try different things, and then you can start with this point. And the next point is unlocking TT. Unlocking TT, you need to complete the full adventure mode. You need to complete every single one of the time trials, at least I think it's 2 times each, because the first time you will set the ghost of yourself, the second time you will raise the ghost of TT. So when you win, you need to win against TT in every stage in the time trials. So it's gonna take a long time, but it's also the perfect opportunity to hone your basic skills, like, and even getting some sort of like more mechanical, more like a higher level of standard, like when it comes to the mechanics and everything, like learning the game, understanding why do I do this and why do I do that, and what should I do with this and what should I do with that. Like, you're gonna learn everything on the way, and do not stress the improvement too much. More like try to keep it as basic as possible. Always challenge yourself a little bit, but try to, like, if you get the basics right, you're gonna start adding, like, you need the foundation to start building your building. And if you have your foundation steady and you build up like each block higher and higher and higher, you're gonna eventually reach the fucking sky. And I'm sorry for swearing, but I'm being honest. So basically that's gonna happen, maybe not during the time unlocking TT, but when you stop speedrunning. So adventure mode, complete it completely. And in order to complete the adventure mode, you do the 4 stages in the first area, you do the boss, and then you do 4 stages more. And in this version, you have a bonus objective of collecting 8 silver coins. And it's important that you collect all the silver coins and get first, because otherwise you will not get the balloon for that. You need to actually win the race with the 8 silver coins. And also collect the key that I showed earlier to unlock the bonus stage. And the bonus stages are, the first one is collect 3 eggs and don't get them stolen from the other ones. When your 3 eggs hatches into dinosaurs, you win the minigame. The second one, it's an icicle pyramid. You literally go, it's like Mario Kart as well. It's like you have 4 hits, and when your 4 hits are gone, you lose. And if you beat out the 3 other opponents, these opponents are gonna die, like if you hit them 4 times. So the basic like of that minigame, and the third minigame as well, is literally like you need to beat out the other 3 ones, and then you win the minigame, and then you unlock a part of the amulet. And the 4th one is collect, I think it's 8 bananas. So you drive around and collect these bananas, and then you hand them in to your box. So now you completed all the 4 stages, in each world. You completed all the mini games and you completed the bosses 2 times in a row. Now it's time for the trophy challenge. And the trophy challenge is literally like a copy of Mario Kart. I'm sorry for bringing up Mario Kart, but it's like more people seems to know about Mario Kart than Diddy Kong Racing, which I'm shocked about because Diddy Kong Racing is the superior game. Well, so you beat the 4 levels 2 times after each other, like 4 times, boss 4 times. You beat the minigame, time for trophy race. Trophy race, you beat all the 4 levels in a row. You get points for each placement, which means you don't need to win every one of them, but you kind of need to like win at least 2, and then you can get second and third or whatever. I think you still can manage to get the trophy, but you need to win the trophy races to like. You need to have the highest point after 4 stages to get the trophy. So now you completed all the trophy races as well for each 4 of the worlds. Then, because of each trophy race you win, I'm trying to think. No, the trophy races are for later. The boss pieces, like for each boss you beat the second time around, you get a part of the face. Like I can show you again. I showed you before, but I can show you again. Now my controller is completely fucked up. Outside in the overworld, there is a huge face of a pig. This is not meant to spoil anything, but I mean, the game is like 20 plus years old, so you've probably seen this boss if you ever Google this game. But as you see in front of me now, there is a pig face, and the pig face is open right now. That is just because this save file has completed the game. But from the start, this pig face is grayed out. So basically what happens is, when you beat the boss in the first level, you unlock a quarter of this face. Sounds weird, I know, but that is how it goes. So you basically, after each boss in each level, you unlock a piece of the face. And when you unlocked all the pieces of the face, you will beat, like, you will start the first, since in this game you beat every boss 2 times. So you're gonna fight or race the last boss of the game, but the first time. So after that, as I said before, you needed to complete the trophy race. So after you beat him and you get up, like you get back in the overworld and you're like, wasn't the game over? Like, what do I need to do now? I don't understand. So after that, there will be a statue here. Of course, I have completed the game on this one. There will be a kind of, not a statue, like a poster here in this position. And it has 4 faces, like 4 question marks on it. And each trophy race will unlock each of the question marks. And when you unlocked all the 4 of them, you just run into the sign, and then you will unlock a new cutscene. And the cutscene will literally get you into a lighthouse, which is standing here when you have not completed the game. Of course, I'm stupid for being in a save file that completed the game. But there will be a lighthouse here. And the lighthouse is unlocked by completing all the trophy races. And after you do that, you will get up to space, because of course lighthouses can fly as a rocket. So of course you go to the space with that one. And then you complete the 4 stages, and the 4 stages again. And then you can choose to either, because you will automatically get into the Whiz-Pig second fight, the pig that I was talking about, the last boss of the game. You will get to the second phase of the boss, and you can choose to quit out to the lobby just to complete the trophy race if you want to, but otherwise just go in and do it after you watch the cutscene and everything after that. And once you have completed the last boss second time and you completed the trophy race, you're basically done. So when you're done with the adventure mode, you will get prompted to start adventure 2. That is not needed in order to unlock TT. What you want to do next is quit out from the adventure mode when you complete it completely, because like if you go into the trophy race after you actually beat the second version of the boss, it will not give you any special except for the trophy races kind of cutscene. So then you choose a character again. As I said, I prefer Banjo before unlocking TT, and it's probably one of the better ones in terms of speed, and the handling is not too bad, and the acceleration is like, but the top speed is what we're after. It's easier if you learn how to control Banyu that has a higher top speed. It's easier to actually learn the game, like, and actually beat the game. And you go into the time trials, which is the bottom of the free ones, and as you see here, there is a timestamp up there, and that is the time I've gotten on this like in this track based on the time version. And here you can choose either, if you completed both adventure 1 and 2, you can choose if you want to play the adventure 1 or 2, which is like normal one versus the mirror one. So you choose the normal one, and of course, wait, I don't remember, do you actually need to beat him in every vehicle? I don't remember. Jesus Christ, this was poorly. Well, I would suggest you just go with the normal vehicle first, and then you press on. This is important, like, you need to have TT on, because if you don't have TT on, you will not progress through getting TT. So TT on is literally time trial. It's literally timed run of the stage. So if you start this and press OK, you're gonna have, as you see, it's only me here, and no balloons or anything. It's literally me versus a ghost. So in order to actually win this, you need to, on every stage, win against TT. So after you grinded everything out and you win against TT, ghosts and everything, and I shouldn't have done that in this version, but whatever. It's like the early stages are not hard, but when it comes to the later stage, I don't even know what I'm doing right now. When it comes to the later stages, you really need to up your game, and that's what I said by, like, when I said you should improve during the way, you might need to actually practice the stages in the end. Because those ones are actually horrible. Like, for a new player, you're gonna have a tough time. I'm not gonna lie. Because the stages itself, they're hard, they're narrow, there are more shit in the way, there are more things to fail on. So what you need to do is to get a heavy understanding on how the vehicle works. And what I mean by that is more like, okay, but if I slide in this corner, does it go faster? Does it go slower? Like, if I go on this boost on this side, etc. Like, that is the main thing. Like, you need to first get a basic understanding for yourself, how to work on the game and how to, like, improve for yourself. But then I also suggest going to the Diddy Racing, their own site, and check all the times and check all the, like, they have so many, like, records and stuff, where you can see, like, okay, but how are they doing here? And if you feel like, for example, for me, I was watching a lot of the, like, the top players, but then I realized, like, the top players, yes, the strats are amazing, but some of the strats I cannot do because I'm not at that skill level. So what I do then is, like, I compare myself to people around my skill level, and how do I determine how good I am if I haven't done any speedrun yet? Then I would suggest you go, like, if you see, for example, if you check the on speedrun.com, you can actually look for Diddy Racing and such. And I would say you go into Diddy Racing, you look at the all trophy races, for example. If you find a time that is above, like, 32 minutes in all trophy races, like that category, then you will find someone that is quite new to the game but has started to get an understanding, which is kind of the place you want to be, because normally they have unlocked TT, which means they are probably better than you. I'm not gonna be rude or anything, but it's like, it means they have the basic understanding of the game, they have improved enough that they can complete a speed run and they can get an okay time for being a new player, if you know what I mean. So that is basically what you want to do in the start. You hone your skills, your basic ones. You go into time trials and such and complete the challenges you need to do. Complete adventure mode. That is the first thing to do. Complete adventure mode. Because also, what I forgot to tell you about, there is more unlockable characters. There are two What happened? There are two unlockable characters. The other one is called Drumstick. And Drumstick I would suggest you actually switch to when you can, because he's overall way better than Banjo. And how to unlock Drumstick, you say? You go into adventure mode, you need to complete Whizpig first time. Like, as I told you, you complete 4 levels and all that, complete the boss 1 time, 2 times. Do that in all 4 worlds, and then you complete the pig. After you complete the pig, you will end up in the old world as before, and you go just forward here. And in this spot here, you see there are frogs. The frogs are jumping around. So basically, when you complete it up to that point in the game where you did all the worlds up to the pig, and you actually beat the pig, because the pig is not easy the first times. And you need to really rely on what I told you before. Releasing the A button on every boost is gonna help you a lot. And I mean by a lot. But after that, you come up to this point. You get down here to the frogs. And these frogs, now I have the character unlocked, so I cannot really show you. But one of these frogs will have a mohawk. And the frog with the mohawk, you wanna just squish him. Let's say this is the one with the mohawk. Stop jumping out. Now I squished him. If that was the one with the mohawk, you will get a cutscene. And after that, you unlock them. Or I think it's like, either it's a cutscene or it's like a sound. But you will notice, like, if you drive over, it's only one single frog that has a mohawk. And he's in this particular spot here. You're gonna find him around here. So if you drive over that one with the mohawk, you're gonna unlock the character, and I suggest you actually swap over to the character, practice him a bit, because it's gonna be quite different. But he has, I think it's even higher top speed and a little bit better handling than Banjo, so I think overall it's a better character, and it's also much better in playing. So I really suggest you start actually, like ASAP when you can. Do adventure mode, up to that point at least, and then you unlock Drumstick, and then you go and do, you can combine, you can do some time trials and you can do some adventure mode. Later on also, like, I don't know if I'm gonna include it in this one, because it feels like I'm already talked about this for almost an hour, which is funny. I need to do a shorter version later on. But the thing after this, when you actually unlock the DT, you wanna start trying at least doing 1 run in 100% and 1 run in all trophies race. And the easiest way to learn how to do it is just check other videos and stuff. Like for example, 100%. You're not gonna do all the strats from the start. So 100% is literally what you've done before. Complete the adventure mode and collect everything. And also collect the last trophy from the space. And after that, you know, like, okay, how long time did it take for me? What can I improve on? Also try to get 1 all trophy races run down with TT, because then you know, like, okay, fuck, my first time was 35. What can I do here? What did I like fail on? What do I need to improve on? What do I need to think about? Like, and if you have such questions, you can also come to me and ask. And you can ask everyone in the DKR community, because they are fucking helpful. So, after that, like, you got into the point where you actually feel like, okay, I'm actually gonna try to grind this out. Okay, so the next step in this is to check up on some skips and stuff, out of bounds, and the skip for the first boss, for example, and like tricks around the stages. And then you need to learn also, like, one of the first stages in the first area is Hot Top Volcano. It's a plain stage where you can go out of bounds, and I feel like I already talked too much, so I might not show it in this one. I might do a short one with only the out of bounds stuff and the trophy storage and everything, because it feels like I already talked for 1 hour and I really want to get the 100% run going. But I guess, like, ending to this video then, in that case, like, there are a lot of things to talk about, and to start the speedrunning in the best way possible, you need to have a good mindset. You need to really feel like what you're doing is fun. Because if you're not having fun, you're not gonna improve. If you're not having fun, you're not gonna be able to beat stuff. Like, you're not gonna be able to do these tricks. You're not gonna be able to even do the research enough to like, or the grinding enough to learn it. So that is the first thing. The second thing is literally learn the basics. I told you the basics literally like, I think 7 or 8 times minimum. So stick to the basics, and then after that just go further in your like evolution. Like literally grind it out. That is the best thing to do. But on that note, thank you for watching, and see you soon again.